Coach, come tell us about your team. I can tell you what your first challenge is going to be. When you play your first home game in Hawkins Arena, and it's game day, and the whistle blows, you got an assistant coach going to have to tie him to his bench. He thinks he's going to have to be out there at point guard. So just know,
Hey,
it's not his day.
we like him out there at point guard. No, hey, good afternoon. Obviously, great to be back. Obviously, kind of, hopefully following in football's footsteps right now. They got that thing rolling, and it was funny. We had a scrimmage this Saturday. We get off the bus, and my man, Corn's our bus driver, says, "Man, it's 31-0." I said, "Oh, okay, that was a good game." He said, "No, it's first quarter." So, we could keep that momentum rolling for us. I think we'd all be pretty excited. But hey, it's been what 6-7 months since we set up here, and a lot has gone on. We've worked really hard as a staff to assemble a really good product, on the court and off the court. And I think if you really summarize last year, I think we had a lot of what ifs, a lot of almost finishes, and we're 6-12 in league play, and I think we had 4, 5, or 6 games by one possession. So finding a way to turn those close games into W's for us, it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort, but I think we got the right pieces in here. And when you take over a program, you're trying to figure out the niche at how do you win, and that's kind of been our focus as a staff is how do you win at Mercer? How do you find a way to be in that top 1, 2, 3, 4 every day? And I think it starts with obviously our staff is retaining a majority of our staff. Obviously added a Mercer great in Langston Hall, so I feel great about our staff. Retain the right players. We got a guy, Brady Shoulders, last year that, if you guys remember, was a freshman for us, started 25 games. He embodies winning. He embodies Mercer, and he's a great piece to the puzzle. He's a great building block. And I think when you look from there, what did we target in the portal? What did we target in junior college? What did we target in freshmen? We targeted high trust, low maintenance guys that are tough and got high IQ. And that was a non-negotiable for everyone we brought to the table. And I think, like I said, it's come from junior college, it's come from low major, it's come from high major, it's come from freshmen. But we've got 11 new guys on this roster, and so it's going to take a little time to mesh like any organization or team would. But I know we got the right guys in the building, and from June, July, August, September, October, and now moving into November, I can say this: we haven't had a bad day. That doesn't mean we've had some practices that weren't up to speed, and we might have not won some games, sure. But in terms of the actual overall group, we've put in great effort every single day, and I think that's what you want from your group. I think you're going to see a different physicality to this group than what we had last year. We've got some really tough interior players, some of the toughest guards pound for pound that I've had an opportunity to coach. And I think you're going to see a great connectiveness out of this group. We've got some guys that can maneuver the basketball, some guys that can shoot it, but collectively I think we've got a really tight unit that understands how hard it is to win basketball games. You got to have each other, and so for right now, had a couple close scrimmages, feel like we're learning, feel like we've got a good top 7, 8, 9 guys that trying to find a way to gel as we move this thing forward. So I guess with that, any questions you guys have?
Coach, what was the biggest thing that you learned from your 2 scrimmages? You mentioned they were close, but what's the biggest thing you could take away? And all right, this is good, or okay, we need to be doing this better. Can you explain a little more about that?
Yeah, we're extremely tough. I mean, we've played 2 games and we've physically outcompeted both opponents. We've got a toughness, we've got a nastiness. I think there are a couple of our guys might like to put a football helmet on and put their head on someone. So it's going to be. That's absolutely sticks out. We play great offensively both games in terms of analytically and statistically, but I think the strength of our team is going to be our defensive mindedness, and I think we've got an extremely physically and mentally tough group.
How do you balance that, being tough but also smart on offense and defense? How do you, as a coach, just keep that kind of on the same playing field?
Well, I think it goes back to recruiting. And we said, we went through the SoCon last year, 18 games, and can't recruit guys that don't have high IQ. So you got to have IQ. That was really important for us as we targeted guys. And then, as coaches, you can take a different identity. Some guys are offense, some guys are defense. It's no secret that the teams that I've coached that have been really good, we have a physical component to us. So I think it starts in recruiting, and that's how you practice every day. And we go bone on bone. We don't have a lot of 5-on-0. We don't have a lot of fluff out there. We're kind of straight to it, and I think the guys are able to put that into play.
I didn't realize you guys had lost 11 total guys, but you really stood out to me because you guys had a lot of really big P5 have programs, some really good mid-major programs. How do you get guys like that? What's your pitch to them to like come and play Mercer basketball, come play for Ryan Ritter? What's your pitch to them?
I think it's different for each guy. You know, there's guys coming from all different levels, all different experiences, but you know, we got to rely on the guys we trust in terms of how we recruit guys. You know, we got a couple guys on our roster right now that I think they got a chance to be at significantly higher levels. Thought this was a really good opportunity for them to come, maybe have a bigger role, lead a team, have some success, hopefully have an opportunity to play in March. But really, it's relationship driven, and I know obviously, you know, the big word NIL, and that landscape's absolutely true, but to me, it just kind of makes the recruiting process easier. You kind of know right where you sit with the kid. You're either in the ballpark or you're not, and then from there, we're able to target the ones we want and use those relationships to try to find a great fit for not just myself or our staff, but for Mercer as well.
And of the returners, who do you think has, you know, been the biggest leader? Is it Brady Shoulders? Is it TJ Grant? Is it somebody like just who's really stepped up from last year to this year?
Yeah, TJ's a great everyday guy. I mean, you don't know if his number is getting called or not getting called, and he's the same guy every day, which I think is important for our guys, new guys to understand. But you know, it's my 18th year coaching. I don't know that I've ever had a sophomore voted team captain, and you know, Brady Shoulders was one of 3 guys as a sophomore that was voted. And I think it's the way he approaches not just basketball, how he approaches his everyday life. Guys see that. You know, there's guys that quite honestly are jealous that he has that discipline. And so for him to be voted as a sophomore, I think says a lot about who he is, but also where we want to kind of take this program.
And I know in your open you mentioned Langston Hall coming back, Mercer legend. You know, what has his presence brought?
I mean, legend? No, I'm just kidding. He's back there in case you guys didn't know. It's funny. I think the really cool thing, and it's not just him, but specific to Langston, he takes his ego out of it. You know, he could walk around. I mean, it's funny. We've had, 2 or 3 visits since he's been on campus, and every family's like, man, Langston, your picture's everywhere. He's got a jersey hanging up. He's got a big old photo in the locker room. But I think the thing that's been tremendous for us is you're talking about, he was 2014 Mid-Major Player of the Year, one of the best players in the country, plays overseas for 11 years, could walk in with a lot of ego. And he's taken every bit of that out, humbled himself as, how do I just get Mercer better? How do I help this? You know, he'll be working guys out at 8 a.m. He'll be watching film with them. But I think when you humble yourself and honestly want what's best for not just our young people, but for Mercer, he's been tremendous. He's a great fit. We like hanging out with him. I mean, it's an easy fit for us. It's natural. Obviously, his accolades speak for himself, but it's going to be really beneficial for our guys long term.
Is there something you want to see from your team that you didn't see last year? Obviously, that might be broad, but I mean, something maybe specific that you didn't see from your team last year that you want to see?
Yeah, I think, you know, this season's going to be full of ups and downs. You know, we play 4 high major opponents in the non-conference, you know, so there's going to be plenty of adversity to be met. But I think the biggest thing you want to see is continued growth from your group. And I don't know what our max ceiling is. You know, I think we got a chance to compete in the top 1, 2, 3, or 4. I think we got a chance to win a championship and hear our name called on Sunday. But at the end of the day, just want to continue maximizing this growth. And what do I want to see? I mean, let's be honest, I want to see more wins. You know, we won 14 games last year. I'd like to have more than that. You know, the truth is we've been in the SoCon for 11 years, and we hadn't had a lot of top 4 finishes. You know, we've had 3 top 4 finishes. We got to find a way to compete in that upper echelon. We got to find a way to do that, and I think the group we brought in understands the vision. It may take a little bit. We may be clicking on Monday night when we play Tennessee. It may take a month. It may take 2 months, but I think that at the end of the day, yeah, we want to see more wins, but we want to find a way for this group to continue to maximize every day.
Well, of the 11 new faces, who are we going to be seeing a lot of on the court? Whose name's going to be called a lot?
Yeah, I think great teams start with point guard play. You know, Brocco Koji was all freshman team at George Mason, averaged almost 9 a game. Went to Memphis last year, was an integral piece of their tournament team, and then. You know, so I think from the point guard standpoint, he's coming over us. He's got a chance to be a premier player in the league. You know, we think we've got one of the best guards in the league, and you know, going down the line, we've got a lot of good guards. But I think the second guy, you know, see a lot of is Armani Mighty. He's a big guy. I mean, literally his last name's Mighty, and he's 6'10", 240. But he's an everyday guy. He's got great motor. He protects the rim. He scores around the rim. He's versatile defensively. I think he's got a chance to challenge for being one of the better front court guys. But you know, I could go down the list. Quentin Perkins, Zaire Williams, you know, Tristan Gross, Connor Servin, Kyle Cuff Jr. You know, so I don't know if I missed anybody, but I mean, dang, we're going to play a lot of new guys point blank, and I think you'll be excited about the guys we brought in.
How come Armani Mighty was not on the
I don't know. He's going to be on the all-something team, though. I mean, he's a big joker that plays hard and is getting better every day.
And then I know you're a Bengals fan, Coach. How'd you feel about yesterday?
Hey, man, I was locked into the Tennessee-Duke game. I acted like I didn't see it. What happened? Yeah, not good. Hey, you know what? Knock on wood that we can all stay healthy, because I think that injury is probably derailing that team a little bit right now.
Shout out Aaron Glenn getting his first win as a head coach.
Not shouting out him out, man. We're in mourning over there.
They are too in New York.
Yeah.
You mentioned that tough non-con schedule. I mean, you know, you got SEC, you got ACC, you got teams like Winthrop. I mean, they're a team a lot of people have eyes on. Is there any value in some of the guys you brought in as transfers? I mean, guys who have experience at Kansas, Memphis, Syracuse. You know, what do they bring to the table when you go into environments like that?
Well, I think opening night, I mean, if you've never been to Tennessee, opening night is going to be great. There's going to be 18,000, 19,000 people in there. It's going to be an experience that a lot of our guys it's going to be once in a lifetime experience. But I think, you know, the collection of those guys you just mentioned, they've played in a lot of environments like that. So I don't think the physicality, I don't think they're going to be, you know, bewildered by what's going on. But at the end of the day, you're playing at, you know, I know they said 18th in the country. I'll be shocked if Tennessee doesn't finish in the top 10. Their non-conference home record is pretty elite the last, 5, 6, 7 years. So I don't think it's going to be a scare factor or anything like that. I think guys are just go in there and try to compete as best as they can.
And then, you kind of touched on this already, but what do you think the biggest strength is, and then maybe the biggest so far in the early going here?
Yeah, I think the biggest strength is, I mean, we can guard. Like, we can really, really guard. We can do different things, multiple different defenses. We can really disrupt. We rebound the ball at a really high clip. Like I said, we're very physical. I think the thing we got to get better at is just the unknown commodity. We don't have a lot of proven shot makers. I think we got some guys that can shoot the basketball, but just haven't had a lot of guys proven at this level that they can do it consistently. So I think that's something that we're very confident they can do, but at the end of the day, they got to go out and do it.
Ryan, you said building chemistry is obviously going to take some time with it. Every year it is, with it being a new year. How much of that building the chemistry is on you and the staff, putting the guys in positions during drills and in practice, whether it be 5-on-5, just seeing what certain guys play well together and forcing them to communicate well with each other versus the guys taking it upon themselves during practice, whether it be in between a drill and going up to the team and saying, hey, this is what I'm seeing, or just even spending time like off the court with each other.
Well, I think the first thing, you got to recruit like-minded guys. And I'm not saying you get every single thing right, but we got like-minded guys that are mature, they're secure in who they are. They understand this is a team sport. We're not out playing something individual. So that gives us a good base right there. But yeah, I think it's on our staff, it's on each other. But trying to create adversity, because I think at the end of the day, right now everyone's happy. There's no playing time, there's no losses. Everyone feels great. So us trying to find a way to create adversity, because I think that's when you find out who's going to gel, what type of chemistry you have. And ultimately, I think we did that a lot in the fall. But there's still nothing like, tipping off Monday night and kind of figuring out where you sit when adversity sits in place.
Anything else for Coach Ritter? Coach, let's clarify now just for the media. Obviously, Tennessee, opening game, first home game.
Wednesday, yep. So Monday night at Tennessee, and then we play Wednesday, November 5th at home versus LaGrange.
Back to the house. All right, thanks to everyone. Appreciate your